We're talking free agent signings here on Warriors Today by Chat Sports. We know the Warriors want to make multiple moves this offseason, and the latest report that has come out that they're interested in Milwaukee Bucks shooting guard Malik Beasley, I think fits a lot of boxes here for the Golden State Warriors. I'm going to be breaking that down here on today's show. I am your host, Allie Barefoot, but first things first, I want to hear from you guys. Want the Warriors to sign Malik Beasley? Don't worry, I'll give you the stats and tell you guys why I think they should sign Malik Beasley. But if you want it, go on ahead and spam GSW down below. Call out the front office. Tell them to make a move. Spam GSW in the comments. Let's go on ahead and get into it, shall we? Now, of course, like any other free agents, we are not the only team interested in the dominant three-point shooter. There has been reports that Orlando Magic, who we know is going to have a ton of cap space this offseason, who has also been interested in Warriors' very own Klay Thompson this offseason. And now the Houston Rockets, Ime Udoka, as the Houston Rockets kind of had a really rough go of it from a three-point line. Udoka's over here like, hey, we want to get a sharp shooter. Let's go on ahead and look at the free agent that is Malik Beasley. And then, of course, the Golden State Warriors, same thing here. If they don't re-sign Klay, they're going to be looking for a secondary scorer going along with Steph Curry. And we know the three ball has been dominant in the Bay Area for the last decade. So let's go ahead and talk to you guys about what you should know about Beasley with the Milwaukee Bucks. He will be a free agent this summer, free agency, of course, starting after June 28th. And the Warriors looking for a secondary scorer to add with Curry. It's no surprise here they're looking for another guy that's going to put up the same kind of numbers as Klay Thompson did, maybe even in his prime, from the three-point line. He's also played for numerous organizations here in his 8 years so far in the NBA for the Los Angeles Lakers, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, and the Jazz. So he is no stranger to the Western Conference, which is great because if I'm going to be honest, if I'm looking at a player that's only played in the East, it's going to be a really big adjustment coming to the Western Conference, playing them in the regular season. In my opinion, I just think the West is a harder conference. But considering Malik Beasley's only 27 years old, which isn't bad, the exact same age as Mikal Bridges, I think that that's a veteran experience right there, but he's not old enough to where you'd be getting a free agent like you got Chris Paul in a trade last year for 38 years old. And he's played 8 seasons. He was with the Timberwolves. He was with all these organizations for a while before he ended up in the last 3 years playing for different organizations year in and year out. Plus, the Warriors could be a realistic target here for Malik Beasley and be really intriguing to go on ahead and play alongside the best three-point shooter in the NBA. I think they would be a really compatible duo here in the backcourt and would really increase the secondary scoring here in the Warriors offense, knowing the three ball is what they do best. You're looking for a floor spacing three-point shooter? Well, Malik Beasley is going to be that answer. But I want you guys to tell me what you think. Type Y for yes, type N for no if you think the Golden State Warriors should sign Beasley in free agency this summer. I'm going to break down the contracts here and really where this leaves the other secondary scorer for the Golden State Warriors, Klay Thompson, if they do sign another great three-point shooter. But first things first, let me tell you about our sponsor here on Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I'm talking Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America. It's so easy. It's so fun. Honestly, if you're not playing this, what are you doing? Why? Because you can win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. All you have to do is pick between 2 to 6 players and just pick more or less. That's it. Who doesn't love making some cash and turning into making more cash? Here on Prize Picks, it's super easy to play. All you got to do is pick more or less. That's it on a player's projected stats. And it's not just the NBA. They've got the NFL, which the season is quickly approaching. They've got the MLS, MLB, NHL, WNBA, League of Legends, Call of Duty. I mean, I'm going to lose my breath telling you guys all the projected players and teams for stats that they have here on the #1 daily fantasy sports app. So if you guys want to get started, it's also even as easy as it is playing Prize Picks. Just go to that link right there below, and if you guys have bad memory like I do, it will be commented on our video in the comment section down below. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS. That's how PrizePicks knows you guys watch Chat Sports, and they're going to give you a first-time deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. I promise. It's that easy. Malik Beasley, let's talk about what he's done the last 4 seasons. Here's something that really caught my eye, being 27 years old and playing for the Bucks last year. We know the Bucks had a lot of ups and downs this season with head coaches and injuries and the whole 9 yards, but he did have a career-high three-point percentage out of the 8 years that he has played. 41% from downtown, nearly 80 games played. That's phenomenal. I know what you're thinking. All right, well, he's making 41% from downtown, but he's only averaging about 11 points per game. How is he going to be the secondary scorer when the Warriors did have Klay Thompson, who was averaging about 17 points per game? I do think that when you do move him into a offense that runs with the three ball, as much as the Golden State Warriors do, they've led in three-pointers made the last 2 seasons in the NBA. I think Beasley will start to get more points going in because he's going to be in an offense that fits his type of play a lot better. Not to mention he's already averaging 38.5% from downtown in his entire career, over 8 years. You're telling me you don't want to put another sharpshooter next to a sharpshooter? It's going to be lights out in Chase Center if you pair up these two three-point credible players. And he also signed a 1-year, $2 million contract with the Bucks. And this has kind of been his trend the last 3 years. Of course, he played for 3 years with an organization, then went to 3 more years, and now he's just kind of been jumping ship to see who seeks him best. But a 1-year, $2 million contract is all he signed for here with the Bucks. A lot of speculation was surrounding whether or not he would want to sign that and then go out and get a bigger bag for more years with the next team that he does find. But the Bucks were kind of like, you're kind of on a prove-it deal here for us. Obviously, the Bucks did not make it past the first round of the NBA playoffs. They had a lot of stuff going on here, I feel like, in the front office with the Bucks. So maybe it wasn't the best year for Beasley to really shine here in his prove-it deal with Milwaukee. But there are still reports showing that the odds are slim to none that Beasley will return to the Milwaukee Bucks in free agency. So I think he's going to be actively searching for another team that's going to fit his type of play. And I do think Steve Kerr and Steph Curry is the best place to end up if you are a lethal three-point shooter like Beasley is. But I know what you're thinking, because I'm thinking it. I'm over here making all these graphics, typing this up, saying, why would the Warriors not go out and get Beasley? Well, what happens to Klay Thompson? They play the same position. You're looking at another sharp three-point shooter, which Klay Thompson really struggled, especially in his last game, the play-in game versus the Kings, where he went over from downtown and the field. So if the Warriors are seeking another dominant three-point shooting guard, is the Golden State Warriors planning on moving on without Klay Thompson? Well, we do have a report here from The Athletic talking about what he feels as he does cover the Golden State Warriors. And I might butcher this name here. Tim Kawakami. Cool. Smitty said it's good, so I'll take it. I'm now 55% sure that Klay Thompson will re-sign with the Warriors this July instead of joining another team in free agency. So that's what an inside source is saying from The Athletic, who covers closely with the Golden State Warriors. Now it's not 50%. It's not a flip a coin. It's a little bit more than that, 55%. But the latest news that I've seen on Klay Thompson is that the 76ers are now considering offering Klay Thompson a 1-and-1-year deal like Bruce Brown received this last season. So I knew this was going to happen. Once there was mutual interest with the Orlando Magic, other teams are going to be like, we're pretty interested in Klay Thompson, as they should be. He's been so lethal in the last decade. Yes, of course, coming back from those injuries has kind of hindered his stock a little bit, but now the 76ers seem to be the latest team who is interested in Klay Thompson, so maybe Klay Thompson is really going to explore his options here, and the Warriors can't sit around and say, Klay, we're going to let you go on ahead and have all these interviews, all these teams, and see where you fit, but we need to look for a shooting guard. And Beasley is a lot younger than Klay Thompson, 27 years old. And he's still hitting career highs after 8 years in the NBA, while still having that veteran type of presence to fit in with Kerr. And even so, you can maybe even offer him a 2.5-year veteran minimum, which is what Kelly Oubre Jr., who's the exact same age, just took. Actually, I believe he's 29 years old. He just took that with the 76ers, so maybe they could start to offer him something very low to end up getting a huge secondary score from a three-point line to add on to Steph Curry. With that being said, though, out of the same position, kind of the same assets in their back pocket, pick one you guys want on the Warriors for 2024-25 NBA season. Type NB for Malik Beasley. Type KT for Klay Thompson. If you guys are still like, hey, look, I am ride or die KT, want him to retire a Golden State Warrior, put KT in the comment section below. But I know a lot of you guys used to comment saying, look, I just don't think Klay Thompson's the answer for us anymore. Well, Malik Beasley definitely could be. Type MB. I'll keep you guys updated if the Warriors do end up signing Malik Beasley or any other player in the NBA, especially if it's Klay Thompson. So I want you guys to go ahead and do one thing for me to make sure you're completely in the know of your favorite NBA team. Hit that sub button for me.